This video is for the literal equations notes. So on the inside, a literal equation is an equation with two or more variables. To solve a literal equation for one variable, you can use inverse operations or SADMEP, which is PEMDAS backwards. So you're going to do addition and subtraction first. Then you're going to do multiplication and division next. And then finally, you're going to take care of your squares and your square roots. So here, I'll leave that so you can see. So one-step equations. So at the top here, it says solve for x. So what we're trying to do is get x by itself. So we need to move the 7. The 7 is positive, so we would subtract it from both sides. So this cancels, so we would get x equals negative 19. And so here it says solve for a. So I need a by itself, so I'm adding b, so the same as this. We'd subtract b from both sides, so this cancels. So a would equal c minus b. So up here we're going to solve for y. So now 9 is being subtracted, so we would add 9 to both sides. So this cancels, and y would equal 43. Then here we're going to solve for d. So the e is being subtracted, so we would add an e to both sides. So these would cancel, and you would have d equals f plus e. All right, so now we've got multiplication. So if we solve this one, negative 6 is being multiplied by the x, so we would divide both sides by the negative 6. This would cancel, and x would equal 5. So here, if I'm going to solve for r, 2 pi is being multiplied by r, so we would divide both sides by 2 pi. This cancels, so I would have r equals c divided by 2 pi. And remember, the other way, c divided by 2 pi equals r would work as well. Here, when you see it set up like a fraction, this just means y is being divided by the negative 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 4. So this cancels, and y equals negative 32. So here I want to solve for m, so I would multiply both sides by the v. So these cancel, so m would equal v times d. All right, so now we've got two step ones. So this one says solve for w. So I need to get w by itself. So the first thing I want to do is move this 2l. So I'm going to subtract 2l from both sides. So I would have p minus 2l, this cancels, equals 2w. Then I've got to get the w by itself. The 2's being multiplied, so I'm going to divide both sides by the 2. So I would have p minus 2l divided by 2. This cancels, equals w. Or you can flip it around. All right, here we're solving for b. So let's get rid of this 1/2. So to get rid of a fraction, you just multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So I would have 2a. This would cancel, equals bh. Let me focus here again. Okay. And then we're trying to get b by itself. So it's being multiplied by the h. So I have to divide both sides by h. So this would cancel. So I would have 2a divided by h equals b. All right, here we're solving for L. So again, your SADMEP or inverse operations. So we want to do the addition first. So we want to subtract this pi r squared from both sides. So S minus pi r squared equals pi r L, and then these cancel. So the pi and the r is being multiplied by the L, so I would divide by the pi and the r. So I would have S minus pi r squared divided by pi r. This cancels, equals L. All right, now we're going to solve for W. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of this fraction setup. So this whole thing's being divided by M, so I'm going to multiply both sides by M. So I would have M times S equals W minus 10E. All right, so again, the W is what we're working on, so I need to get rid of this 10E, so I can add 10E to both sides. So I would have M times S plus 10E equals, this cancels, W. Oops, sorry guys. So that's it for this video.